Cities XXL tips. Number one, always use your highest capacity road when connecting to the border. It will bring in more people. And what I'm referring to are the road connections such as over here. Over here, I have a connection to the border. You want to use the largest road possible. And the reason why is because it adds to how much you can trade with another city, which is through here. You have something called a token, which are all these positive and negative numbers like the -6 and the 6 and the 3. And in order to trade more, you need to have higher capacity roads. Check your trade screen on a regular basis. If you have an oversupply, you can export for cash. So you go over here to the trade screen and you select Omnicorp and you look for anything where you have a positive number. I don't have anything that's positive. And then what you do is you export it and you will bring in more income by exporting. Also, this tells you what you need to construct. For example, over here, I've got a -2 for high tech, which means I need to make more high tech buildings. So in this case, I need more unskilled workers, more skilled workers. I need housing for those people. Build small villages in your farmland with unskilled workers and retail shops so they can get jobs on farms. So what I am referring to is going to be this area over here. You see that the way I built around my farmland, I built homes and retail, and I did the same right over here in the middle. I have to apologize, my game is very slow with the zooming in and out. So over here, you see I have housing over here, and they live close to the farm, so they're going to have an easy time supplying workers for the farms. You can build houses on water if there's a nearby road connection using packs. So I'm going to show you houses on water, which is right over here. These houses are all on the water. Same with these houses over here. So as long as you have that road connection nearby, you can build the houses on the water. You can build farms by placing the second point across from the first. You don't have to select every corner. So when you build a farm, I've actually used up all the farmland, so I won't be able to demonstrate. Yeah, all the farmland is used up. But basically, you'll figure this out eventually. You don't have to build one corner and then the next corner and the next corner. You can just go to the opposite corner. You don't have to go to this corner here. Just build in a triangle and it will automatically fill that corner. It's just a little thing you can do to build faster. A great place to build highways is along the farmland. So what I do, you see that the highway goes around the farmland. And the reason why I do this is because the farmland is never going to be straight. It's always going to be round. The roads can be around. The houses, not so much. With the houses, you're going to have these weird connections along the border. So what I do is I just build the highway going around, and I occasionally make a road connection. Like here's an example of a road connection between the highway and the farms so they can get back and forth. You can maximize your water wells by placing them at the edge of the water source. So I'm going to use the example with oil. See over here we've got all this oil. When you build, you have to build within the white area. You don't want to build in the middle. You want to start at the edge and then do the next edge. And the reason why is because, as you can see, it creates this circular area of influence when you place the oil field. And you don't want to place it in the middle because you'll use up all of the oil. You want to place it at the edge so that you only use up half. So if I were to build an oil field over here, it might do it's going to it used up all the oil and it left me a little piece over here. You don't want to do it that way. Instead, you want to build something like this. So now I've got another half over here where I can build another oil field. I don't know if it really produces more. I have no idea, but definitely visually, it looks like it works. Okay, so I guess he's going to be unconnected. Build a city whose sole purpose is to export resources to your other cities. So I have a city which is, I'm going to show you in a second. You go to your main screen and over here, it says show my cities. I have a city called Syracuse. Might take a while to load. So Syracuse is a city that I made for the sole purpose of supplying resources to my first city that you just viewed. So when we look at this city, you're going to see that the layout is very different. It's just a very basic layout. It's a complete grid, which is game slow. Or maybe the game quit. Did the game? Okay, so the game quit. I'm going to continue recording in a moment here. Okay. So you're going to build another city just to export resources. You make one industrial city, one commercial city, one residential city. And the reason why is because you're going to have all the pollution in your other industrial city, and there's going to be all the resources like water and fuel and holidays that you can export to your main city, which has a short supply. Start your city, make it profitable, then let it run a few hours overnight, and you should have a large sum of money. So that's a trick I use in a lot of video games. Once you get it profitable, just let it run and then go get something to eat or fall asleep. And hopefully in the morning, you'll have a large sum of money. Build polluting industry in the corner of the map to reduce the number of map tiles affected by pollution. So the pollution is in a circular area. And if you build it in the corner, 3/4 will be off the map and only 1/4 will be on the map. So you reduce pollution by building in the corner or on the edge. Build polluting industry on islands surrounded by water so the air pollution does not impact residences. So some islands you're going to use for hotels, but there's other islands, I use them for polluting industry so that it cannot affect my residential buildings. Build a city with only industrial zoning, trade between your cities, and the cities with residential and commerce will have low pollution. You can build homes on water near the coastline, already demonstrated that. Build retail between residential and industry. So industry is polluting and ugly. People don't want to live next to it. So build the people opposite and put the commerce and retail in the middle. Anything that has that pollution cannot impact, you build near the industry. For example, maybe you're going to build your roads between commerce and industry as a little gap, or landmarks that can't be affected by pollution. Build polluting industry far from all other buildings. If you use the metro system, then people could travel a far distance. Farming is the basis for your economy. It provides jobs for unskilled workers. So the first thing you should do is just build farms. Build as many farms as you can, and you'll get your unskilled workers, and they'll be the basis for your economy, which means you're going to be able to start building retail and other items, and then you work on the skilled workers and other industry. Build enough space between farms to place silos or other important buildings. Silos will improve production on your farm, so you have to leave space to put the silo. Otherwise, you're going to end up deleting some of your farms and rebuilding them. It's going to be a little bit of a construction pain. Don't build landmarks such as the Empire Still. Don't build landmarks such as the Empire State Building until you know how they work. You will lose a ton of money if you build it and you don't know how to do it. You cannot delete the building, and you have to manage the blueprint. It will bankrupt you. I built two of them, and I'm losing $50,000 a month, and it hasn't even started construction. And the reason why is because you have to assign tokens. You have to assign office workers and skilled workers for the construction process, and you have to do it manually, and they have to be available to be assigned. And if you don't have all that ready to go, you go and you build the landmark, and it just starts losing money. And I built two of them, and they're both losing money, and I can't delete them, and it's causing me to go bankrupt. So you don't want to do that. There is a cheat mode. If you go to the menu, it says cheat, and there's an option that says add cash, and I clicked on it like 100 times. It never added any cash, so maybe it doesn't work. Okay, those are my Cities XXL tips. This was recorded April of 2023. If you come back later, you might find that there's more tips. I do have a Cities XXL forum at cheapbooks.cc, the City Builder game. It's nearly identical to Cities XL, which I have also played. I can't even notice a difference. And I am the owner of cheapbooks.com, which is a website for buying books and textbooks. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.